yeah, people, the morning inside is here. Good morning to everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. They don't know it's less than 24 hours away from 2025, but the morning inside show is here. Bless up to everybody, bless up to the family. You understand? But we have to talk about football as usual. Today's a big day in Jamaica, Freedom Street, that big show. Yeah, it is the talk of the town right now. It's on everybody's lips. Today is the day that the show will arrive. Hope everything goes smoothly. I'll be watching it remotely on my TV, online, wherever it is. I'll be tuning in. But look, football people, they have to talk about football. Leonbailey first start after returning back from a hamstring injury against Brighton. A lot of people have their say on Leonbailey locally and abroad in the UK, listening to some of the Aston Villa podcast, talking about Chippy, demaraigray, the missing link, is this the missing link for Demarai that's coming up in the video as well. RUDOLPH SPEID, man. RUDOLPH SPEID is getting disgusting with some of these interviews. A man that I respect highly. In the dugout, whatever you do around football. It's not matter I respect. I respect him whatever you do in the football. But my God, man, his interviews are getting disgusting. But I'm here to chop a few mixed reaction of RUDOLPH SPEID interview talking about players, fatigue. Like, it's getting disturbing to see a very experienced man said him have over 2 decades of experience in the game, outside of not playing on the grass. But we're going to get into it. But look, people, Demarai, have I brought the story yesterday and talk about Demarai to Fulham. I have this to present to you guys, of Demarai. Yeah, just watch and I will come back shortly after that. So I'm watching these videos and I'm like, how can we get back this Demarai? Yeah, I mean the last 3 games before the Saudi Pro League went off on break. Yeah, you see a slight glimpse of what a real Demarai farm truly is all about. You understand? But I mean, shocking, man. I still love to see the ball move to the Premier League. But look at how he glide past the defenders. Look at how he score the goals. Look at how he just dribbling. Look at how the intensity and the willing and the effort to go past people. The attempt. of dribble pass, the wing backs, we just not seeing that over the last 12 to 14, 15 months now, from Demaraigray, but when you look at some really good stats, for Demaraigray, look, they're just around 200, games played in the Premier League. What 8 seasons he have played in the Premier League, I think it's 6 for Leicester City and 2 for Everton. Have a remarkable career in a lot of youngsters would love to have 8 seasons in the Premier League, and Demarai have just around 200 appearance in the Premier League. You have started 108 games, 19 goals, 14 assists, that's like 33 goals involvement. You have created 24 big chances in his 8th season in the Premier League. And you look at the elite, when you look at the top elite players, you look at those stats are garbage, but this is the reason why Demaraigray is outside of the Premier League at this moment. Up for sale at Everton, saw the Pro League coming, not much offers are on the table in the Premier League, or they would say outside of the Premier League in some big league, top ranked league, the French league, the Italian league, Seria A, the Bundesliga. When you look at stats like this, 200 games in the Premier League, 108 start, 19 goals, 14 assists, 13 goals in 33, that's 33 goals involvement, 24 big chances created over that span of 8 seasons in the Premier League. You could say he probably could do way better. Way better. Not even 20 goals in the Premier League. It's just devastating to see that, look, his stats are like that. But I mean, look, it is what it is. Everybody's not going to be elite, but a player like Demaraigray holding, the potential, 1 point, what I really want that kid coming out from Birmingham. I think he probably would have go a lot more, a lot more far in his career. But, hopefully he come back into the Premier League and, can do something really good, actually really good, and start on the 2025, calendar year for the reggae boy and impressive farm. Hope him can, start the 2025 year for the reggae boys and bang boo farm, but I mean, that's what I have to say about Demaraigray. Those highlights, when you look at it, it's just frightening to see like how 2024 have been for him and what he have done in 2023. I don't know how the player that's drop off from 0 to 100 real quick like that. You understand? It's just sports, man. It's just all in the game. You understand? It's just all in the game. But moving on from one reggae boy to another reggae boy, Leon Chippy Bailey. Look, when I saw that, Leon Chippy Bailey was in the starting lineup yesterday for Aston Villa, I make sure that I put away everything just to watch Aston Villa. I'm a United supporter, and I said, look, I ain't watching United because United is going to lose that game. I want to see what Leon Bailey is going to do, because the glimpse that I saw at St. James Park when they got trashed from Newcastle, I was like, this Leon Bailey seems like he's up to something. So look, he came back, right back, after, you come off an hamstring injury, normally you get like 20-25 minutes, off the bench. No, Leon Bailey has played almost 80 minutes in the next game. Started at Villa Park. He loved to play at Villa Park. We know how much goal he scored at Villa Park, but the performance, last night, what I saw at Villa Park versus Brighton, the intensity, the willingness that I was talking about, how Demaraigray had to take on defenders, the dribbling, the attempt, not having that fear factor of losing the ball, are scared to go 1v1 against, wing backs, and the effort to run in, the danger areas. Leon Bailey, so many times in the game, he was in dangerous spots where the ball was actually going. It's like he was sniffing the danger around, and you could say that is something that it wasn't there, a couple of months ago, even the start of the Premier League. When you look at his game yesterday, 55 touches, 11 touch in the opposition box. He have 9 attempts out of You have 9 dribble success out of 10 attempts. 3 big chances, you have created yesterday. The crosses weren't perfect. That's the only thing I would probably have a little negative thing to say about Leon. The recovery was really good. I think he had like 3 or 4 recoveries, yesterday. But crossing and shots and goal. I think he needs to improve way more than how he's performing, in terms of his shot conversion rate and his crossing conversion rate, how he get successful crosses into the box. But 55 touches and about 11 touch in the opposition box. He was right in Brighton face. He was quick. He was he will say you want to win the first ball, the second ball, he's going into tackles, he's making an attempt to dribble, the intensity, he's just wearing that art on his sleeve. That was the Leon Bailey that we actually saw last season, and the only thing missing from his game was a goal or an assist of how he performed. And if you go back to the last time Leon Bailey played a top team in the Premier League, when he played at Villa Park last season against Manchester City, that stats that he have on the day, if you remove the goal, still cannot compare to what he have done in the game yesterday against Brighton. So is it good signs that Leon Bailey is on his way back to the Leon Bailey that performed in last campaign for Aston Villa? But I don't want to say anything too quick, but I don't know if it was we miss Leon Bailey on the pitch. It's that we, as a reggae boy fan, you want to see him do really well. And when you see the player back on the grass, it's refreshing. But I'm just saying, man, I know for sure I'm not the only one. As I said, I watched right after the game, I watched some Aston Villa podcast, they talking about Leon, and guess what? No one had anything bad to say about Leon Chippy Bailey. And to see that you have the manager trust to go right into the starting lineup, after coming off the bench at St. James Park. And this is a man that UNAI Emery trusts a lot. And you have to repay the man with some of these trusts, because you have trusted him through the bad times in the last couple of months, and he's still giving him the start, still giving him the minutes, so kudos to Leon Bailey. Very good game, because when you have a bad game and bad moments, we beat him bad. So we have to make sure that, look, having a good game, we give him all the praises. You understand? But Rudolph SPEID, man. Rudolph SPEID, people. So Rudolph SPEID, I think he beat Umberland. In our game, and he said something about Cavaliers like a wolf, something like that. That they're just going to fight their way through it. But listen to what he have to say about when he beat Umberland at Stadium East, yeah?
You spoke about only having 16 players available. How do you get the best out of this scrap, knowing that you're playing so many matches so quick and fast with only 16 right now?
Well, this is the match we're down to 16. In Mobile we had 18, I think. What happened, or 19, what happened is that we keep on picking up injuries because of the tight fixture. So we're down to 16. But, as I said before, Cavalier is led by a wolf, so it don't matter, we're going to find a way, and today we're able to find a way.
So you hear what Rudolph SPEID have said during that interview, beating Umberland. I don't know if it was 3-1, but listen to this now. When he lost at Savannah Park, I think 3-1 against, is it Chapitan Maroon? This is what you have to say about players' fatigue, this and that. This is what Rudolph SPEID have to say.
As I said before, I can only point it back to fatigue, because they have had a rough schedule. Clearly the organizers know what is best. They set all of these matches. We would have played 7 more matches than every other team in the competition because of the Caribbean Cup. So it's just one of those things. It's literally, I'm out now to match fixing, because it's difficult for us. Well, it's like we are being punished because we are the champions. That's all I can say. Because there's no other team has ever gotten fixtures like this to play so many games in so little time. And we ask for postponement, and like everybody just sitting and looking around, and nobody is moving to correct the thing. But here's the problem. Most of those people are not technical people. They're just administrators. They sit down in an office and they never run 90 minutes yet, so they don't understand what the players are going through.
So that's what SPEID have to say. Listen to what SPEID have to say again.
I think we're suffering from some fatigue, and then the holidays, and the fatigue coming from 5 games in 14 days.
So if you compile everything, I'm just saying, man, look, Rudolph SPEID, the biggest sets of teams in the world are dealing with injuries, are dealing with fatigue, deal with unfit players. Players have to be, living in the medical room right now. And even in the Premier League, in this festive, season, this festive period, even in the Championship, so many games they played during the December month, and then they have next sets of games that they're going to play, for the Easter as well. But everyone right now, and if you look at it, he's talking about the Caribbean Cup, this and that. You have to go away. Hey, whenever RUDOLPH SPEID team is playing away in the CFU games, Cavalier don't play that weekend. They get a full weekend rest. So if Cavalier played like what in the last 3 weeks, they played like 6 to 7 games. Yeah, it's a lot of games, but guess what? It's just in the game. You have to make sure your team have the squad depth. You cannot cry, but when you win, it's not a problem. But when you drop points, it's a problem. Even when he came back from down there in Kitchener, came back from 1-0 down to draw the game against Moby. He didn't give that speech that when he lost the game, at Savannah Park against Chapelton Maroon. Stop this cry baby thing, man. RUDOLPH SPEID, and control the squad depth, and try to make sure that you minimize how much minutes certain players play. But I mean, it's just all in the game. If you look at even the game that he played, the game that he played, the last that he played against, who he draw against? I think he draw against, is it Portmore that he draw against? Look, man, start to complain, man. What is it that RUDOLPH SPEID want? Yeah, what is it that he want? People, bless up on yourself. That's it for the morning inside. Salute to the people. They don't know it's another morning. Tomorrow will be 2025, the first day of the year, and it will be the first show of the new year. Bless up on yourself. Thanks for watching. This is Nicardo Media House, the morning insider. I'm out.